After Black Christmas, they'll never be the same again.
What do you want? Why are you doing this?
Hey everyone, welcome to Let's Talk. I'm John, and today we're here to talk about the 1974 horror classic, Black Christmas. But before we dive into that, and its 4K Blu-ray review, if you are a fan of movie reviews, 4K Blu-ray reviews, tech and game reviews, we try to do them all here on the channel, and nothing helps out more than by you liking this video and subscribing to the channel. So Black Christmas is directed by Bob Clark, who was the same director of A Christmas Story, and it came out 9 years before that in 1974, and it features such actors as Olivia Hussey, John Saxon, who you might recognize from the original Nightmare on Elm Street as Nancy's father, and Margot Kidder, who played Lois Lane in the Superman movies, and we just talked about her in the Amityville Horror. And this film is widely considered the first slasher. Many people think of Halloween as the original slasher, but that's really just when the slasher genre took off. That really took it to the next level, because that film really inspired such films as Friday the 13th and many other slashers that we would see throughout the 80s. But before that, 4 years actually before that, we got Black Christmas. It tells the story of a sorority house around Christmas time, and unfortunately, all these girls in this house are being stalked by somebody they don't know. He's making phone calls, just really obscene, disgusting phone calls, just saying some of the most grotesque, disgusting things to these people. They don't even realize it, but this man is actually picking them off one by one and killing them. It takes them a while to even realize that there is somebody actually killing people in this movie. They don't even realize, they just think people are going missing. They don't even understand what's going on. One girl's father shows up looking for his daughter because he hasn't heard from her. The sorority mother is trying to calm him down and just keep everything under control, because they have this really tight-knit, loving kind of family environment in this sorority. They have this great sorority mother named Mrs. Mack, who just, I love her character in this movie. It just really cracked me up that every which way you look, she's finding a bottle of whiskey or some kind of liquor to drink, and she's just taking swings of it every which way she goes. You know, that's why she's having a good time, because she's always drunk. And this is going to be spoilers for this film, because I do want to talk about the ending a little bit. The one girl's boyfriend is played by Keir Dullea, and they're really trying to make us believe that he is the killer in this film, that he is the one doing all the killing, because we see a really intense piano scene where you can see that the emotions in this guy are just draining out. He seems unhinged. The way he feels about his girlfriend getting pregnant and having the baby, you know, we are really expected to believe that this guy is doing all the killing, because he just seems like he's not all there. Pressure of the world is really coming down on him, and the only way he can relieve this pressure is by killing people. And at the end, they really want us to believe that this is the guy who's doing it, but it turns out it's not. It's somebody else. And my original take on this, before I actually read into it a little bit and watched some interviews and some documentaries, my original take was that they were just trying to mislead us, and that he was the one doing all the killing, and that little sequence at the end was really just to try and throw us off the original trail, but that is not actually what was happening. It actually turns out that it's some unnamed killer named Billy, and, you know, they did a really good job. It was really intentional for them to actually make the killers to be somebody that we didn't know, because they actually had cameramen playing it. They had somebody voicing this guy. You know, we never see him really. We see him a little bit in some darkly lit like scenes, which I could actually feel like it's something that inspired like Twin Peaks and the killer Bob and that. But this one, the killer's name is Billy. We actually don't even see him very much on screen. We barely even get any glimpses of him. And because every time he's doing the killing, they do this really cool thing with the first person angle. And I don't know if this is the first movie to do it, but the camera is never set down in this movie, really. Very rarely is it actually put down. It's always moving around. Those first person kill sequences, I feel like, are very ahead of its time. This movie is almost 50 years old now, and really it deserves a lot of credit. Right now in the horror space, a lot of people give credit to Black Christmas as being the one that started it all for the slasher genre. It didn't have this love and fame as it does now. It really took a long time for this film to earn its respect. This film actually now is considered a huge inspiration on the horror genre, and is considered one of the best, and it really does deserve that, because this film actually, I was surprised at how much it really swooped me up into the story. Like, it's very well acted, especially for a horror film. And I don't know, because you know what, in 1974, maybe they were just trying to make a really good movie. Like, this feels very much, even though it's a horror film, it feels like a drama. Like, they're trying to tell a story, and they do have things that they want to say. And you don't really get that from the horror genre, especially once we get to the 80s, where they really just started to like turn these out. And I love 80s horror and 80s slashers, believe me. You know, I eat that shit up. But this was just a really good story that you get wrapped up into it. Like, my wife was kind of watching, and then she put her phone down, and she's like, wow, this is actually surprisingly really good? And I said, yeah, I've seen this a couple times, but I don't remember the story being this good. I probably saw it way too young. That's probably exactly what that means. And it's really dark and violent, and really, even under today's standards, this would be considered very dark and violent. The stuff they're saying on the phone call, the way he wraps that plastic around their heads, and it's the first person killing, it really is just down and dirty and gritty, and you really do get just wrapped up into the story, and then you leave it, and then you have that ending that's open to interpretation. It really is just a really good horror movie and a really good slasher, and it deserves all the credit in the world, and it deserves to be appreciated for the kind of movie that it is. Believe me, if you haven't seen Black Christmas in a while and you've only seen the 2 remakes that have come out, I would say definitely check this one out. You're gonna have a good time, especially around the Christmas season where we don't really get too many Christmas horror movies. And if you're a fan of horror, you don't want to be just watching all the cheesy Christmas Hallmark movies. You want to see some people get murdered and violently killed on Christmas, and Black Christmas is going to scratch that itch for you. But we're also here to talk about its 4K Blu-ray from Scream Factory, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Here today to sing Christmas carols and eat some Christmas cookies. We're here to talk about Black Christmas and its new 4K Blu-ray that just came out from Scream Factory. So Scream Factory actually released a brand new 2K scan at the time in 2016, but 6 years later they have given us an upgrade to 4K, and they actually went in there and gave us a brand new 4K scan, because in 2016 that was a brand new 2K scan at the time, and they put a message in front of the film saying that the source material was very low quality, it was really hard for them to clean it up, really hard for them to make the audio sound perfect. There was going to be some dips and drops in the audio, and Matt, who has that 2016 Blu-ray, can confirm that there are some dips and drops in the audio, and it did feature a monotrack 2.0 and a DTS 5.1, but those are also brand new with that fixed audio on this new 4K. And that's where I want to start, is with the audio, because it really did impress me. I experienced no drops and dips and issues or anything like that in the scan, at least in this new 4K scan. I watched it with the 5.1, DTS HD 5.1. If you want to get it to as close as it was back then, the mono track is available. I chose personally to watch it with the 5.1. If the 5.1 is always available, I will always take that, because I do want to get the most use out of all my speakers. And it's a really good 5.1. They really did a great job on the mix on this. They made good use of all your speakers. It wasn't like they just sent the audio out to all the channels. They actually really did go in there and do a good job mixing this to make good use of all your speakers, good use of just sound in the background. It doesn't have an Atmos track, and it's completely unnecessary in my opinion. I thought they did a great job with this DTS HD 5.1. I didn't watch in the mono track, but I did test it out a little bit. That also did seem really good, but the 5.1 really did surprise me. I didn't expect it to be that good. But what really blew me away were the visuals. So the visuals on this were stunning. Like I said, it's a brand new 4K scan. It's presented in its original aspect ratio of 1.85. You get Dolby Vision, you get HDR10, and they just did a great job. Now, don't expect to go into this, I always compare it to Top Gun Maverick or any modern Marvel movie. It's not gonna look like that. This movie came out almost 50 years ago. It still looks like a 70s movie, but it looks like a beautiful 70s movie now. Now this movie's mostly shot in the dark, and now those dark scenes really do look clear. I didn't experience any white balance issues. I felt like the blacks were deep, the contrast was perfect. The Christmas lights really do pop in this, which is exactly what you're going for. But it still gets that 70s feel where, when they used to shoot back then, it kind of just feels very warm. It's not that sharp. The resolution is very clear, but just the way the film stock that they had at the time, you can really see that. You've seen this in other films, just like we were talking about Margot Kidder in an Amityville Horror. Very similar. When you look at a 70s film, that's a 70s film, and we didn't lose that. They didn't wipe away all the film grain to try and clear up all that noise. No, they kept it all in there. They wanted this image to look as good as it possibly can while keeping that tone and feel of the 1974 film that we got. And I really do appreciate that, because sometimes they really want to go in there and they want to try to wipe this clean and make it look like a modern film, but it's not a modern film. You really want to go back to the 1970s. You want to experience those mint green phones, those puke green carpet that they just loved to do back then, because they thought it looked good for some reason. You want to get transported back to a different world, and they really do that here. They did a fantastic job with the visuals. This is the best this film looks and is ever gonna look. I can almost guarantee that if they go back in and do another scan, I don't know how much better they can make this look while keeping that same exact horror tone that they have in this. They did such a good job in the visuals. I really can't sell the visuals short. So let's dive into the packaging real quick. Now, you get the original movie poster actually that's red instead of gray on the bottom. And you take off the slipcover. Underneath you get the same exact poster. Now the cover is not reversible. So that's something that Scream Factory has been doing with their 4Ks lately. Although sometimes they put the reversible slipcover on there, which is strange that this and Rollerball didn't have it. So no reversible slipcover on this as well. That's your 4K disc, and those are your Blu-ray discs. Disc 2 has a compressed version of this new 4K scan on it. Features all the same commentary tracks, such as one with Bob Clark on the first 4K. Those are also on the Blu-ray disc. And then on the third disc, that's where you're going to find all of your extras. And there are a ton of extras. Remember how we were talking about the extras on Sam Raimi's Army of the Dead from 1992 and how they put just every little bit of extra that they actually released on there? Well, all the extras have been previously released, especially of that 2016 Blu-ray, so you're not really going to get anything new on there, but there are a ton of them. Like, I'm talking like a whole third disc full of extras. If you're a fan of Black Christmas, you can get hours and hours and hours of extras on here, and you're not going to be disappointed. Documentaries, featurettes, it's just people just looking back on the film. Everything that I personally want from extras were put on this disc. I really cannot say a bad thing about the extras. I was blown away and excited at the extras on this. I really thought they were fantastic. They did a great job on this. I'm not even done watching all of them. I have to actually go back and finish them, but I just wanted to make sure I got the review out. I just, I do a quick scan, make sure they work, and I check out some of the ones that I am most interested in. And yeah, again, just a great job. I really do love what they did with the extras. The disc design on there too, I really did appreciate, but the lack of reversible slipcover is really weird, and the packaging alone, I don't know, it's just weird that Scream Factory has kind of gone that route. They didn't hold back on that audio and visual upgrade, and really that's all you're looking for. If you have the 2016 Blu-ray, you know about all these extras, but if you're gonna upgrade, you're doing it for that visual and audio upgrade and fixing those scenes and fixing that audio, and they knocked it out of the park with that. It is an amazing 4K. If you are a fan of Black Christmas, I promise you're not going to be disappointed with this 4K. If you have that 2016 Blu-ray, you might be saying, oh, should I upgrade? Well, I can tell you for a fact that Matt has that 2016 Blu-ray, and he can't wait to upgrade. He can't even wait till the Shocktober sale. He has to grab it now because he is just impressed with what they did with this. Like, the amount of effort they put in to fix that audio and fix those visuals and just make it look beautiful really is just, it really needs to be commended, and they did a great job. So overall, what would I give this based on the visuals, the audio, the packaging, the extras? I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. I'm only going to take 0.5 off because I don't really love the packaging as far as the non-reversible slipcover and the fact that they only gave us the original box art on there when they have another box art design that they used on the 2016 Blu-ray. It could have been a cool reversible slipcover, and I know fans of Scream Factory are huge fans of those reversible slipcovers, and unfortunately they don't have that here. But that visual upgrade, that audio upgrade, and all these extras, you can't take too much off. This is the definitive edition of Black Christmas, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed with this purchase. Even at the full price, I can recommend going out and grabbing it. And if you want to grab it, you can use our Amazon affiliate link. We'll leave that link in the description below, and it costs no extra money for you, but it really does help us out so we can keep bringing these reviews to you. And another thing that helps us out is by you liking this video and subscribing to the channel and then telling all your friends. But if you're here for the digital code giveaway, that's what we're gonna do right now. Mondays here at Let's Talk, we spin our magic wheel and we pick 2 winners of our digital code giveaway. And this week we asked you guys 2 questions, and those questions are: what is your favorite gaming franchise? And I got a lot of great answers. And I would have to say the most surprising and the biggest answer we got was the Legend of Zelda series. Most people actually picked that or Mario, which surprised me. I mean, I love the Legend of Zelda and I love Mario, but I didn't expect that many people to really be that big of fans of Zelda. I mean, Zelda is great. They have some fantastic games, such as the Ocarina of Time. That is my personal favorite from them. But even, most recently, they've had some great games. They've always been around since the NES, so they've never really gone away, and you can almost argue that almost every game in the mainline franchise has been good. Same thing with Super Mario Brothers. Every game in the mainline franchise has always been good. You can argue some of the spin-offs don't really hit, but you get Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers. Those are just spin-offs from the original Mario franchise. That really should just tell you about the longevity and just how good Nintendo is. That's why they're so protective of their original franchises. Don't let them go out to anyone else because they know what they have. They're not stupid. They start watering that down and sending them out to like mobile games, to other consoles like PlayStation or Xbox. you know, it's not that good for them. You got to protect the brand, right, Nintendo? And we also asked you guys what was your favorite film genre, and that was all over the place because everyone has personal taste. My personal favorite genres in order, I guess, would have to be sci-fi at number 1, drama at number 2, and horror at number 3. And you can even combine all three of those to make one great movie, a la The Terminator, although you could throw some, I guess you could throw a little bit of romance in there too, because there's a fantastic love scene in The Terminator. But we're here to actually spin this magic wheel and see who this week's 2 digital code winners are. So let's get right down to it and spin this magic wheel. First wheel spin. Daniel N. All right. Daniel, we're going to remove you. I'm going to do it again. GOT Amelia, congratulations. Well, there you have it. Our 2 winners this week are Daniel Ann and GOT Amelia. I believe you guys have both won before, and congratulations. If you guys didn't win this week, come back to this Friday's video where I'll ask 2 more digital code giveaway questions, and as long as you answer one of those in the comment section below, you come back to next Monday's video, your name goes back on the wheel, we spin that bad boy again, and we will pick 2 more winners. And for our 2 winners this week, you got to reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just direct message us, or you can always reach us at letstalkentmt@gmail.com. Let us know which one of the digital codes that you saw on your screen before you today you would like. And as long as the other winner didn't take it, that digital code is all yours. And again, guys, thank you so much for being here with us on another episode of Let's Talk. If there's anything you want to leave, any sort of comments, concerns, questions, leave those in the comment section below. And while you're down there, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell all your friends.